The year's 2001 and I'm a third year apprentice butcher. The mobile phone rings. It didn't ring real often back then. And believe it or not, it was the Newcastle Knights head coach, Michael Hagan, calling me to say, "Kurt, Friday night footy, you're making your debut." It was late in the season, Marathon Stadium, Friday night footy. I've got my brother in the team, I've got mum and dad in the stands, my pop, my ex-teammates on the hill cheering me on. That night, unfortunately, didn't go to plan, but there were some bigger plans for the Newcastle Knights at the back end of 2001. The Newcastle Knights go on an amazing run at the back end of the year, but they know they're up against an opponent who are the most formidable team in the NRL. They've scored the most amount of points that year, the Parramatta Eels. The buzz around town is huge, but the Newcastle Knights, they know they're the underdogs. Well, it's game day and I'm on the team bus. I'm only a young kid, I've only debuted and I've made one first grade game, but here I am, I'm on the team bus for the 2001 Grand Final. We go underneath the stadium. It's my first time experiencing Sydney Olympic Park, Sydney Stadium. What a sensational experience. You've got to remember, the Newcastle Knights are massive underdogs against the Parramatta Eels. The Eels had scored more points than any other team in the competition that year. It was a huge, huge task ahead. But everything changed at kick-off. Well, the first half's a bit of a blur. All the momentum is with the Newcastle Knights. They're carving them up. They're carving up the best team in the competition that year, the Parramatta Eels. Joey Johns is on fire. Local legend Billy Peden scores 2 tries. Steve Simpson crashes over in the first half. It's a dominant performance by the Newcastle Knights. It was a blur, that first half. The Eels fought back in the second half. It got a bit close towards the end, but the Newcastle Knights, they had it in the bag all game. 2001 premiers, the Mighty Knights. Back on the bus and we're heading back to the Novocastrians back in Newcastle to celebrate. Every overpass from the Central Coast, there's people, there's fans there with memorabilia and flags and merchandise. All the traffic lights heading back into town at Newey, there's fans there, they're banging on the bus, they're cheering us home, they want to celebrate. We get to Marathon Stadium, it's 2 a.m. and it's 25,000 people screaming Novocastrians. They want to see us lift the trophy. It was an unbelievable experience and the night partied on. You got to remember, I'm only a rookie, inexperienced. I played one first grade game that year, and let's be honest, I was pretty inexperienced with the partying as well. I couldn't kick on like the rest of the boys, and I ended up falling asleep in the back of one of the trucks that were doing the lap of honour. But the week, it kicked on from there with a civic reception. It was a wonderful week. To be part of that magical run, celebrating with all my Novocastrian teammates and fans and supporters, it was a memory I'll never forget.
Get great promos, great odds and same-game multi at Palmerbet.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.